Biztech's C-Suite Conversation Show. Our guest today is Suresh Ranganathan. He's the Global Head of Banking and Financial Services at Aspire Systems. Aspire Systems is a technology services provider whose customer base ranges from 150 plus VC-funded startups to Fortune 500 companies. Now, to tell us more about this, welcome to the show, Suresh.
And thanks for having me here today.
Now, Suresh, for a start, give us an overview of Aspire Systems and its history.
Sure. We began our operations in the year 1996 with a small team in Mumbai, in India, and our journey started with supplying industrial engineering products. Soon enough, we realized that this wasn't the most viable business model for us. And in 2001, we moved into the software development space. And to remain unique and distinguish us from the competition, we transitioned into the outsourced product development space, helping companies to build their software. And today, we are serving as a trusted partner for more than 250 customers globally in the US, UK, Europe, Middle East, Asia Pacific, and in Latin America, with the global delivery centers in India and nearshore centers in Poland and Mexico. We have over 4,900 people working with us globally, and we are a CMMI Level 3 certified organization. And our in-depth expertise is in technology, and the core DNA of software engineering prevails. We have been ranked as one of the 100 best employers for the past 12 years in a row by the Economic Times and the Great Place to Work Institute. So yeah, we have come a long way from where we started.
Suresh, perhaps you can give us some insights into your portfolio of clients and also key success stories from clients who have implemented Aspire solutions.
Sure. Brian, our customers' portfolio ranges from VC-funded startups to Fortune 500 enterprises. Some of our seed customers are still with us, which means these relationships are 2 decades old, and we are proud of those relationships. And again, there are a number of success stories I can talk about. We have helped at least 3 digital banks, aspirants, to launch their banks in the shortest time possible. But let me pick one interesting case, which is very close to me, which is Judo Bank in Australia. Now, the Australian SMEs were struggling for the needed long-term capital finance, as well as short-term working capital finance to run their businesses. Now, the estimated funding gap was close to $1 billion that was plugging the SME market in Australia. To help the cause of the SME community and to make small businesses grow and prosper, Judo Bank wanted to enter that segment. And they had a very aggressive timeline to adhere to from the central bank. Now, as the timeline was aggressive, we did the greenfield implementations in 2 phases. As the bank wanted to secure low-cost funds, we rolled out the deposit products in phase 1, and the lending products for SMEs were rolled out in phase 2. Now, with this strategy, the bank was able to collect funds to the tune of $1 billion, and now they are a unicorn, as you would know. Now, this is another place where we recommended end-to-end Temenos solutions backed by from channels to core to financial crime mitigation and analytics product. Now, the entire banking system were implemented on the cloud, built frictionless customer onboarding and product origination for deposits and SME lending. which helped loans to be dispersed in few days with recommendation engine and so on, right? And the bank has brought in a major revolution to the success of SME in Australia. Likewise, I have a bank in Sri Lanka, which wanted to have, which is the five largest commercial banks in Sri Lanka. And they have set an ambitious target to grow their customer base to 2 million by end of FY 2025. Again, the transformation was from core to channels to payments, and we had taken a big bang transformation approach to transform their customer-centric needs.
Now, Suresh, that's fascinating because particularly with the Australian example, the bank collected 1 billion first before it could even go lending. So you talk about being smart in terms of your execution. That's really smart.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, could you share with us a little bit about how you've helped your customers? So your website mentions that you've also helped startup businesses grow. Could you give us some examples of how you've helped startup businesses scale rapidly?
So I must warn you a slightly longer response, but I'll try and make this crisp. So broadly, I'd like to classify our solutions and services in two categories: verticalized offerings, and you have the foundation services. For example, our banking and financial solutions and services are focused on three major win themes or demand themes, I call it. It's start the bank, which is the greenfield implementations. We help banks or the digital banking aspirants to set up their bank in less than 6 months and meet the regulatory requirements. And then the change the bank, which is pretty much the transformation of current processes, current systems. We call it as a brownfield transformations. And run the bank services, which is the essential services, your close of business, your application support services. Now, that's on the banking and financial services. We have, as I indicated, we have software and high-tech industry that we focus on. Pretty much our solutions are on end-to-end product engineering capability. And retail solutions are all on store solutions, digital commerce and omnichannel, merchandising and planning solutions. And insurance, we focus on end-to-end transformation of property and casualty insurance space. Now, all of these vertical offerings, as I said, is supported by and enabled by the foundation services. And over the years, there's been a number of frameworks and accelerators have been built. You would have seen, having a SaaS enablement, which is a Texelo platform that actually accelerates the software development services, making it a perfect choice for software product companies to build their products. And you have real estate management solutions, pretty much that helps the property developers, real estate companies, lease management firms streamline their business processes in managing the facilities and subcontractors and leasing. So this is a case in point is your ATM infrastructure for the banks. Mm-hmm. You have mobile ERP, which is supported by the Oracle suite, and that's getting it on mobile enablement. So these are a number of solutions that we have built over the years.
Now, you are very particularly strong in the banking and financial services. You are a trusted partner of Temenos. Could you tell us how this partnership has evolved over the years and how you are helping banks across the region with these implementations and solutions?
Sure. Firstly, we are very proud of our partnership with Temenos. We recently celebrated 5 years of togetherness. Although we are now Temenos' global full stack implementation partner, our relationship started from Singapore in 2016 and went on to expand globally. The last 6 years of partnership has been very rewarding. Our Temenos COE is now crossed over 350 plus people, and 50% of them are certified in one of the other Temenos product lines. I'm also extremely glad to announce that we have been recently conferred with the preferred partner status to implement Infinity, the digital banking platform, and that's globally, we are the preferred partner.
So,
now, yeah.
Go ahead, Suresh.
It's good when it's implemented right. So to stand true to our partnership, we have recently announced or created a model introduced a factory implementation model for Infinity, where the approach is adapt versus adopt. This is where the customers can benefit most with the out-of-the-box solutions from the Infinity platform. Now, the factory model of implementation consists of 4 major tenets. You have the workshop unit, and this is where the clear understanding of customers' digital transformation goals are established. And then comes the design unit that actually prepares the blueprint of how the architecture should look like. This is where the involvement from technical and functional COE from Aspire gets in. And then you have the assembly unit that actually comes and pretty much does all the configurations. Last but not the least is the build unit, where this is where the most number of reusable components are developed and packaged for faster time to market. And then the test and release unit. So we have structured this in a very carefully crafted model that's actually enabling the implementations more consistently and more faster time to market. Now, as I conclude this question, we are a 2-time award-winning Temenos partner, and we are on our way to becoming #1 Temenos partner with the vision of getting the most out of Temenos through Aspire.
Okay, now tell us about your recent win in Malaysia with Affin Bank to help them in terms of their digital transformation journey. Now that is using Temenos Infinity digital banking solutions. How fast is that? What are some key elements of this partnership, and how long will that take to go live?
Right. Now, Affin Bank is an exciting growth phase, and it has a fantastic purpose-driven leadership. Their asset base is growing steadily, and they are doing everything right to make Affin a leading bank in the region. They are a traditional bank with strong fundamentals intact, but with a digital mindset. Now, that's a stupendous combination. The best part of our partnership between Aspire and Affin is our core philosophies fits like a glove. It's all about people, customers, society, and shareholders. Now, the bank's mandate was to have a next-gen mobile-first banking platform to rapidly onboard, engage, and service their growing customer base. The need was to have an intuitive, engaging user experience that is scalable with rapid build and faster time to market. Now, Temenos' Infinity digital banking platform was the right fit with its market-leading multi-experience digital platform and ready-to-use model digital bank. And Aspire is already a market leader in digital channels transformation with a number of successful implementations that we have undertaken in digital as well as in core banking across line of business such as retail, corporate, and wealth. So these credentials made Aspire a natural choice for Affin.
Now, Suresh, I want to move on to then just the overall banking and financial services landscape. There's been tremendous growth because of the pandemic, because as banks move to more and more digital banking services, could you tell us about some of these key trends that have taken place over the last 2 years in terms of how banks have dealt with their customers?
Sure. I believe there are four factors that contributes to any digital transformation initiatives. Now, the first is the technology. If we have the right technology in place, it's half the battle is won. And second is the process transformation. And we should understand when it comes to business, there is no one size fits all. So it's different strokes for different folks, right? And each have to improvise according to our capabilities, requirements, and strengths. Now, the third factor is the business model. Now, this is the most critical factor where we adopt, which is essentially about how we go about with our core initiatives and value propositions, and the last is the cultural transformation, which includes our value systems and reflecting and resonating with our mission and vision for our business. Now, in the post-COVID world, digital transformation is not a luxury anymore, as you would know, but a necessity. And it had a profound impact on customer behavior with anything and everything available online. So this calls for more investments in digital infrastructure and associated capabilities.
Now, looking ahead then, 2023, what are some of the key technologies and advancements that you see in terms of digital transformation?
Look, I think the banking enterprises' priorities are undergoing a shift as they cater to the changing consumer expectations and demand themes. Now, the super good looking mobile application, the good user experience or addictive user experience, good look and feel, those are now become very basic and it's mandatory. But I think if I have to address it from the bank's point of view and what are their top priorities are, one, it is the embedded finance, right? And seamlessly integrating the financial services to traditional non-financial business and influence end-to-end customer experience is the number one priority for the banks. The next priority, I would say, is the sustainable finance, which is take cognizance of ESG considerations when the bank's designing financial products or services. Mainly, the focus is on the governance, and it's gotten a seat in the risk factors. Last but not the least is the most central focus is on the hyper-personalization. That continues to be the focus for the banks, creating tailored experience for each hyper segment by leveraging the power of data and analytics. That's where the customer data platform, customer 360, and data becoming the new oil is very prevalent, and these are the priorities and the trends that I see in 2023.
Now, Suresh, now going back to Aspire Systems, can you tell us what we can expect from your organization in the next 12 to 24 months?
Well, as an organization, we are embarking on a $200 million revenue goal, and that's our topmost priority. And we will be setting our next set of priorities once we achieve this, which is not very far. And from a banking and financial services business unit point of view, we have been featured as a major contender in Everest Group's peak matrix in digital business services. And we want to move up the value chain and become the market leader. That aside, we have some priorities to have more industry native solutions to be onboarded as partners in pursuit of strengthening our banking and financial services topology.
Suresh, has been a very enlightening conversation. Thank you very much for taking your time to be on the show. But before we leave, any final thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with?
I think, you know, as I said, the bank's priorities are embedded finance, sustainable finance, and hyper-personalization. But I think we must also take cognizance of the macroeconomic factors and the European, the banking ecosystems, the impacts there. I think the banks have started, you know, preparing much better than before, and they are also several of the banks are also left with the legacy systems, and and they are seriously looking at making right investments to make these transformation initiatives making a greater impact to their customers.
Now, thank you very much for coming on the show, Suresh.
Thank you very much for having me here, Brian.
We've been speaking to Suresh Ranganathan, the Global Head of Banking and Financial Services at Aspire Systems. I'm Brian Fernandez, and this has been Biztech C-Suite Conversation Show. This interview will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our social media platforms. It will also be on our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thank you very much for tuning in.